Morning.
All right, have a good day.
How are you?
See you later.
You well?
Good. You're good. Yeah.
Thank you. There we are. You know, you talk about an iconic place. You know, this drive is equally as, you know. You drive down, it's beautiful.
There are few drives in the world more revered than this.
The trees that wrap around the clubhouse are wonderful sights.
A path paved in Masters green instead of gold.
There it is, as grand as it gets.
Augusta National's Magnolia Lane begins every player's Masters journey with hopes of leading them to the promised land and golfing immortality.
You want to know something about Magnolia Lane? I think it's the greatest thrill I get coming down that highway. To see those magnolia trees, beautiful.
The Masters, one of the most storied events in all of sport, where the world's best golfers compete yearly on these awe-inspiring grounds that were first envisioned by the legendary Bobby Jones and Clifford Roberts.
Hello friends, Jim Nance with you, and welcome to this tradition unlike any other, the Masters.
A rite of spring each year, Augusta National Golf Club welcomes the best players in the world to compete where so many of the game's legends have before.
It just gives me chills, even to this day, driving up Magnolia Lane.
There is a sense of wonder when you drive down her narrow covered pathway, leading to another world where the past and present become one.
You can see the clubhouse at the bottom, you can see the flowers making the, making the flag. It's a beautiful place.
This once simple dirt path has transformed into the most anticipated drive in all of golf. And each April begins an unforgettable journey.
And for Jack Nicklaus, the crowning moment in the life of every Masters champion, the putting on of the coveted green jacket.
Magnolia Lane received its name from the dozens of breathtaking magnolia trees that line the 330 yards of driveway. Originally planted in the 1850s by the Berkmans family, who once owned the land where Augusta National now sits. The mature trees offering an astonishing welcome to this cherished place.
Driving down Magnolia Lane, that build-up is pretty magical and one that doesn't go away every time you come back.
It doesn't get old going down Magnolia Lane. You just kind of get chills a little bit every time you go down there.
Getting to Augusta was full of excitement, obviously. Going up Magnolia Lane created a canopy. Through that canopy, that dark canopy, you saw the white clubhouse. That slow trek up there was pretty special for a kid at 20 years old.
The very first time I set foot on the place, driving on to Magnolia Lane and towards the clubhouse and seeing the beautiful grounds, just everything was perfect, literally perfect. I just really felt at home immediately just going there.
It's always that giddy feeling like you're a kid getting to drive down there for the first time. Now I drive down there with thinking about what could happen. That chance you're going to get to maybe win the Masters. That's a nice feeling to have.
Founders Circle, a raised knoll at the end of Magnolia Lane, serves as a beacon to all guests and a revered place to honor the club's founders, Bobby Jones and Clifford Roberts. Its center displays the iconic Masters logo, meticulously prepared, a welcomed guardian of entry to the famed clubhouse. For players, the magic of Magnolia Lane never fades and sets the stage for what awaits beyond.
Every year I come out, get out of the car and I walk up Magnolia Lane. I just say a little prayer of thanks.
The staggering beauty of the property and the vast array of trees and flowers that we witness here every spring starts with a Belgian family of horticulturists. In 1857 and 1858, the Berkmans purchased nearly 450 acres of land off Washington Road in Augusta, Georgia, and operated what was known as Fruitland Nurseries. This vast land included a charming house with a cupola, a building that still stands today and now serves as Augusta National's unmistakable clubhouse. Decades after the Berkmans first bought the land, the spectacular property caught the eye of two men, Bobby Jones and Clifford Roberts.
I shall never forget my first visit, which is now the Augusta National. The long lane of magnolias through which we approached was beautiful.
Jones, born in Atlanta, Georgia, began playing golf when he was just 6 years old at East Lake Golf Club. In 1916, at the age of 14, he became the Georgia State Amateur Champion and a quarterfinalist in the U.S. Amateur at Marion Golf Club. Over the course of his career, Jones would win 13 amateur and professional major championships on both sides of the pond.
I'm most cordially congratulating Mr. Robert T. Jones as winner of the British Open Championship.
In 1930, Jones became the first and only player in history to win golf's Grand Slam, winning what was considered to be all 4 major tournaments in one calendar year.
One of the first things you're learning about golf, you hear about the Grand Slam and Bobby Jones and what he did, and the way they embraced him in St. Andrews and made him an honorary citizen and carried him on their shoulders, and the ticker tape parades when he came back. I mean, he was a national hero and brought golf to a different place.
From the bottom of my heart, I've never been so impressed by anything in my life as the way you've turned out today.
He's unquestionably one of the great figures in golf. Not just because he was such a good golfer, but also because he was such a good man. And what he stood for was proper etiquette, good behavior, sportsmanship. Add those to his feats as a player, and the way he conducted himself and what he did, his memory is imperishable.
The co-founder of the club, Clifford Roberts, holds his annual press conference with the writers and broadcasters assembled from all over the world.
Roberts was a highly successful businessman and Wall Street investment banker who helped establish and maintain many of the club's most cherished traditions, always innovating the tournament at every step. Their unique friendship and partnership turned this site into one of the most hallowed grounds in all of sport.
The Augusta National was formed by the incomparable Bob Jones and his longtime friend, Cliff Roberts. Together, they laid down in these Georgia hills a golf course second to none, and they created a tournament which is known around the world.
Shortly after his Grand Slam triumph in 1930, Jones retired from competitive golf at the age of 28, never turning professional. He wanted to continue to enjoy the game and build a winter golf retreat, and in 1931, along with Roberts, they purchased the site that was once Fruitland Nurseries.
Somebody introduced him to the Fruitland Nurseries, which was defunct. And, you know, the first thing he does is walk out on the back lawn where everybody gathers now, looks out there, and this is the perfect place for a golf course. So that was divine intervention right there.
They would hire British architect Dr. Alistair Mackenzie to design what would become Augusta National Golf Club.
I mean, I still see the picture of Jones standing when they were clearing it on downed trees. I'm trying to figure out, you know, this guy's just standing there and just, whether he knew what he was posing for then, but it became to me this great picture, image of what was being constructed. I think they wanted this special club for special people.
I mean, that's visionary. Would anyone else walking down that lane, going through that home, looking at the horizon and that vista, would they have thought the same? No, that might be the genius of Jones.
Of the design, Jones wrote, "Our overall aim at Augusta National was to provide a golf course of considerable natural beauty, enjoyable for the average golfer, and at the same time, testing for the expert player striving to better par." Augusta National Golf Club officially opened in January of 1933.
Listen to various chairmen through the years. I mean, they are guided by the vision of Bobby Jones and what Clifford Roberts did. And you sit in the media center in the interview auditorium there, and there are these big portraits of Clifford Roberts and Bobby Jones sort of looking out at you, and sort of, I think it guides everything that they do here.
The very next spring, the Masters was born. 1934 saw the U.S. still dealing with the impacts of the Great Depression. But with Augusta National now a dream realized, 1934 would be one of the most important years in the sport of golf, as it marked the first Augusta National Invitation Tournament. Jones' dream and Roberts' vision was for Augusta National to play host to the best golfers in the world.
It was going to be a quaint little gathering in the spring, and well, it turned out okay. Grew up well. Bobby Jones' name attached to something in golf is maybe the biggest deal. I mean, he's sort of the guardian of the game. They set a high standard, but I think that came from Bobby Jones.
In 1939, the name would forever be changed to the Masters Tournament, as it continued to elevate in stature.
We kept right on calling it the Augusta National Invitational Tournament for several years, but we were the only ones that were calling it by that name. Everybody else started calling it the Masters Tournament.
And as the tournament grew, so too did Augusta National Golf Club. Its timeless traditions and attention to detail on full display for all to see.
It's the only major that takes place in the same place every year. It means that there's layers and layers of tradition and stories, and that's what sort of has built the mystique of this place. Have you ever been to a golf tournament? You know the game of golf? You know what a course looks like? Throw all that out the window, because this is nothing like that.
There it is! Can you believe it?
What I told friends about Augusta, if you don't like that place, you're not going to like heaven.
Azaleas, green jackets, white caddy jumpsuits, Magnolia Lane, amen corner. Everybody knows those words, either you're a golfer or not, because you realize that that's got something to do with the Masters. If you're a basketball fan, you know that. If you're any other sports fan, if you're just a fan of culture, you realize it.
This is not a phrase I use awfully because I like to think I'm worldly wise and well-traveled, but it is awe-inspiring because of what you know about it, you see, and every time you come, you've added another chunk of knowledge to your canon. I can't do better than awe-inspiring.
It's spiritual, and I think it has to do with this piece of land and the people that came before you on this piece of land, whether it's Roberts, whether it's Jones, whether it's Hogan, whether it's Nelson, whether it's Snead, whether it's Jack, Arnold. They've all been here, and they've all been on that piece of land. You know, you don't have to love golf to just feel the place. There are very, very few places like this in the world. It's magical because of the piece of land that it is. It always will be.
And all of this, with its timeless and honored history, starts with that precious drive down Magnolia Lane. The ultimate gateway to what has become a cherished home to history.
The drive down Magnolia Lane hasn't changed for me since 1959. I get a great feeling just driving down there. But it's still the same place. It's still Augusta National. It's such a great place. I get very sentimental about it.